Lynda is doing our Say Something workshop this summer. It is a songwriting workshop, and it is being held online over the Zoom. And it's a twice a week class for 2 weeks, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And it's starting on July 20th, going to the 29th.
Yes.
From 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
So you can still have your summer sleep in.
That's right. That's what we really thought about it. We were going to do it earlier.
For everyone. For me, for people taking it. Everyone wants to, if they want to have that option to sleep in, you have it.
Exactly. You're welcome, everyone. So, Miss Lynda, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your background in the sense of what led you to songwriting and all those good things.
Okay. Just some like quick things about me. Born in New Jersey, raised in Las Vegas. Oh, my Aunt Gina's here. Speaking of Jersey. Hi.
Hi, Gina.
I started piano lessons when I was in kindergarten. I think I was 5 or 6. And then wanted to quit like many a time and did quit. And then started taking voice lessons and then found my way back to piano again. And so music was always part of my journey, and being in like community theater and taking voice lessons, piano lessons, choir in school. And then when I was 15 or 14 or 15, my voice teacher at the time, my voice and piano teacher at the time, who was a songwriter herself, we used to sing some of her original songs in my lessons. She'd be like, oh, I just wrote this. And we would sing harmony together. And she's like, I really think you should try writing. And I was like, I don't want to, because I just want to be Celine Dion and be a diva and like, like people hand me songs. So I don't really think that's going to like work. I don't do that. And she's like, well, here's your homework, because we were also going, learning how to play chords. And so it was kind of like a chord homework as well, like use some of the chords, on the piano. And I sat down and I wrote only a song a 14-year-old could write about feeling like stuck, and needing to like do more, do the things. And I loved it. And I felt like a very like magical thing happened, but it felt amazing to me at the time. I was like, I feel like I'm good at this, my purpose. Yeah, I felt a little like magic spark, right? So anyway, so we started doing that and started writing as part of like my lessons. And from there, I went to Grammy camp when I was I submitted my first 3 songs I ever wrote to go to Grammy camp with people who've been like writing. They're like, I wrote songs when I was 5. And I was like, I have 3 songs, which was like really amazing experience. And then, I just kept going from there. I went to school for songwriting at Berkeley in Boston. I've been in New York now for almost 10 years and have been doing theater and writing and balancing that. So, that's like how I was brought to songwriting. But just me as a Lynda and a teacher, I've been working in New York City public schools now for how long? Like 6 years now, something like that. Yeah. And teaching private voice, and I love getting to teach songwriting in particular because it is so free. I give you like, these are like the map. And then it could be, so many things could fill in the space in between, depending on who's there and your experience. And it's just like, it's always different. And so it's fun for me as like an artist getting to like collaborate with these people, and also as a teacher, like really exciting.
I think there's something to be said about teaching something, the thing that got you started in what you were doing, right? Being able to potentially help other people feel that spark or feel that like sense of purpose.
Yeah.
That is like the reason we do anything, right? The reason we teach. So yeah, I love that. And that's probably the reason why you're so drawn to that, because it's like, this was so very important to me too.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And like when people have those like discovery moments in their lessons, or you can just feel like it's really means something to them. And it's, when you have a lesson every week, it doesn't always feel like that. You're not always like, oh my gosh, purpose. You're like, this is hard. I'm working through this challenging spot. But when you get to those moments where you're like, oh, I just made that thing, or I just sang that note that I couldn't 3 weeks ago. Like that's why we do what we do.
Exactly. And, you know, being challenged is part of it. It's part of that journey, and
Totally.
what makes us better musicians and better songwriters in the end. And
Yeah.
why don't you walk us through a little bit of what the workshop will be like, and what we can expect, what the people who sign up for this class or this workshop can expect?
Sure. So, first of all, this workshop is for all experience levels, whether you have already written a bunch of songs or you consider yourself more of like a lyric writer and like maybe write poetry or any of that, or you've never written, like you were like me when I was 14 and you wanted to be Celine Dion and have your songs delivered to you, but you have an interest, you know. This class is for you, this workshop. We, over the 4 sessions, by the end, you will have your own original song. And I know that seems wild if you've never written one, because there's like, who, am I good enough? Like all these questions. How do I start? How do I finish? How do I know what will be, how do I know if I can't read music? How do I, yet, you know, how do I, yet, how am I going to write? I don't play an instrument. We got you covered. I'm going to give you a couple of tools and steps to get you started, because, and something I always say from the beginning is, these are the rules. These are some rules. And then you can bend them and break them and make them work for you, and you find your own process. Day 1, we're going to do a little bit of sharing. And even if you don't have something original, just sing a song that you love, that you would love to write a song like that. You know, who are your favorite artists? And we do a little bit of creative brainstorming together. I use a process called object writing, where it's like stream of conscious writing. And then you go through and kind of organize those thoughts, and you figure out what would be helpful for details for the verse, or this feels more emotional, this might be more of like the theme of the song, and go into the chorus. So we just write, and we don't judge it, we keep going. And then through the next 2 sessions, we'll move into the actual writing. We'll go over rhyme scheme, song structure, you know, listening to a few songs that we know and love, and like what makes them so catchy, why can we never forget it? Where's the hook? Are these set up the same way? How do we want to set up our song? And then for my people who are like, but Lynda, what about the playing the instrument and all the things? For this workshop, I'm going to provide probably 2, maybe 3, we'll see how we're feeling, chord progression options. And they will have one of the structures we talked about. Maybe it's verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. And we will talk about how to start writing your melody over that. So going from improvising, finding the common notes, you know, your leading tones, and then going from there. And yeah, and it sounds a lot when we're listing it all, but it's always one step at a time. It's never like, okay, here you go, and like bring a song to me next class. Like, I won't leave you like that. It's just little pieces at a time. And for my people who are joining who have more experience or play, if you want to write something without my template or my chord progressions, you're able to do that too. You will end with a full song. I know, because I've done this a bunch of times with different groups of all experience levels, and everybody always ends with like a really awesome song. If you're like kind of like, I don't know, like this sounds like a lot, or I don't know if I like, you know, all the questions we say, good enough, talented enough, ready enough, like you got to give it a try. And it's going to be such a great way to, you know, say something, right? It's a workshop, like express yourself. And I don't know about you, but I have a lot of things to express at this time. So, and it's going to feel so good to have something that's yours.
Yeah, and something constructive and positive, and, you know, just a really creative outlet for all those feelings you're feeling, because, you know, unless you were under a rock for the past year, you were probably feeling lots of things. And I know I speak from personal experience that it is hard for me sometimes to know what to do with all the feelings, because there's just so many. Yeah. But I think something as creative and structured and fun as songwriting is a really good way to help manage those, deal with those, get it out of your head into the world, you know. And yeah, and you're learning something new, and something, like you said, something that's yours and personal. That's like the best of all worlds, I feel. But also what you're doing that is really cool is that each class, they'll walk away with a creative assignment.
Yes.
And that will just help them continue what they've learned and kind of lead into the next
Yeah,
lesson, right?
we're building the song piece by piece. We always have creative assignments. We never call it homework. Um, because the truth is that, you know, like I said, I provide tools and guide you and, you know, oh, maybe you could try this and here's some options. But you are the writer, so I don't want to be like doing it for you. So you do need some time and space to take what we learn each day, kind of let it marinate, and then apply it in the way that feels best to you. Yeah.
And it's also very cool, this workshop, since it is online. Anyone from anywhere can join. We're going to start at around age 12 and then above. So I've actually had adults come to me and say they've always wanted to learn how to write a song. I'm like, there we are.
This is the place.
This is the place. And it's a come one, come all kind of workshop. And as long as you have the desire and wanting, willing, and excited to learn, it's for you. The Say Something Workshop, Songwriting Workshop, starting July 20th and running until July 29th. However, in between those dates, it's on Tuesday and Thursday. So 4 classes. Each class is 2 hours long with a break in between, 1 to 3. And at the end, you're going to have your own song. How amazing is that?
You will have it.
That's it. And if you are interested, you can DM me here on MTC Music Academy Instagram. You can email me at contact@mtcmusicacademy.com, or comment below if you're interested in this video or in the workshop. You can comment in the video and we'll reach out to you. So
yes, please join us.
Please join us. It's going to be so fun. And thank you, Lynda, for joining me today to chat.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to see your face. I love it.